Putin rails against cancel culture and suggests teaching gender fluidity to kids is a crime against humanity. This is an insider story. He took aim at cancel culture and supporters of transgender rights, suggesting that teaching kids teaching gender fluidity is a crime against humanity, while stating that Russia should remain its spiritual values and historical traditions. Putin said that some Westerners believe the aggressive deletion of whole pages of their own history reverse discrimination against the majority in the interest of minorities constitute movement toward public renewal. Let me read that one more time. What a technical statement.
Tongue twister.
Listen to this. Putin said that some Westerners believe the aggressive deletion of whole pages of their own history reverse discrimination against the majority in the interests of minorities constitute movement towards public renewal. Wow. The Russian leader, whose opponents have often ended up dead or imprisoned, likened cancel culture to reverse racism. He said the emphasizing of the racial topic divides people. I'll go to you first, and what you had to say about what Putin just said right now.
Well, you know how Anthony Fauci was voted Time's sexiest man alive?
Yeah.
I think Putin's won sexiest man alive in Russia for like the last 20 years in a row.
Shirtless bear picture.
Yeah, so as much as I have... I'm not a fan of Putin, to put it in his language. He does have a point here. So, look, he's talking about ultimate machismo. Why do you think he's elected sexiest man alive in Russia? It's not because he's actually that good looking, because he gives off that, I protect the country, I take care of you. And there's a lot of people that actually empathize with that. I assume that's why your family loves him so much. But what's Putin's motivation? Forget about this whole thing. Putin wants to empower Russia and sow discord in the United States or in the EU or in NATO. He's not a friend to America. He's not a friend to us. So anything that comes out of his mouth, I'm thinking, what's in it for him? So I think he's just looking to sow discord in the United States. He's not a friend to America. I think we all know that.
So wait, so you're saying he's saying this while indirectly supporting cancel culture, thinking it's a good thing? It's a good thing?
Anything, look, you're talking about former KGB. Anything he does, I'm not just going to take on the surface like, that's a good point. Thanks, Vlad. No, there's something else going on there.
So please,
Yes.
please indulge us and let's
Unpack
go to
that, unpack
your
that.
So land. So
Is it conspiracy?
So let's play
that
that.
Vladimir
Let's play
Putin
that
wants
game.
to
We
see
got
America
7
hat
minutes.
out.
We got
Yes.
7 minutes before Dream Team call. Let's talk about that. So tell us, what could he be thinking to tell Americans to be very careful with this concept of destroying and deleting history that you had in the past to discriminate against minorities who are feeling offended today?
Towards public renewal.
Yeah.
Look,
what's his strategy?
Do you think Putin wants good things or bad things to happen in America?
I think for Putin, and I'm being serious with you, I think for Putin, he is a guy that's so confident in his abilities to lead that when he sits against anybody, he doesn't think anybody is at his level, because the way their government is formatted, it's set up in a way that he doesn't have competition, versus he looks at countries like America naive because they actually think the person you vote for president actually runs the country. He thinks this system is ludicrous. That's what I think of Putin.
He controls all the levers there.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't think Putin's system wants to destroy America. I just think he looks at Americans and he thinks you guys are so naive. That's how he looks at America.
Well, you don't. He definitely doesn't want good things to happen in America. He doesn't want America to be emboldened. He doesn't want us to all get along and have a good.
But I actually think, at the same time, I don't think all advice he gives is manipulative. I don't think all answers he gives is manipulative. I don't, because go flip it and say. So go to Russia. Imagine you're living in Russia. Okay, you officially became Russian overnight.
Okay,
40 years you've lived in Russia. Okay. What do you think about Trump? What do you think about Biden? What do you think about America? Do you think every word that comes out of Trump's mouth is to hurt Russia? Do you think every word that comes out of Biden's mouth is to hurt Russia? Do you think every word that comes out of Obama's mouth, Bush's mouth, Reagan's mouth is to hurt Russia? Do you think that's what every president from America is thinking?
If you're Russian?
Yes.
Every word, no.
Okay. So I don't think this is one of those situations.
I think
he's concerned that they may try to make this a normal thing in his state as well, and he's like, listen, pump your brakes. We're not going to play this.
You think he's just speaking on behalf of a man's man right now?
Say what?
He's just trying to be a man's man. This is what
I
how
think
I
he's
view things.
really giving good counsel that's not going to be taken.
And I think that he's saying this knowing that, and that in that way he's kind of looking down at it, saying like, "Oh, these guys, what are they doing? Like, look at them. They're just playing this out, and it's not going to be good." So no,
What do Norwegians think about Vladimir Putin? He's your neighbor.
Norway is the only NATO country that borders to Russia.
Yes, that's why I asked you.
Interestingly enough, no, I think there's with Russia. There's now I haven't been in Norway in a while, but from my understanding, it's a interesting relationship. It's somewhat stable. They've had like some military exercises, but then they typically do that whenever NATO has military exercises as well in Norway. So it's kind of it's like an on ice relationship kind of.
You used a really good analogy one time about Putin because, look, they're the largest country on Earth, are they not? Russia?
Land-wise,
exactly.
yes.
I don't think they're a top 10 economy. I'm not even sure if they're a top 20 economy at this point. It seems like Putin is playing with like a pair of sixes while, the United States has a full house and he's still trying to like figure out how to win that hand of poker. And he's trying to stack the deck any way he can.
Okay.
But I do think one last thing here, at least. I do think that for him, he needs
11.
Russia's
11.
A somewhat stable
11,
America.
okay.
I don't think he's trying to strengthen America, but I don't think he wants America to crumble and be the next Afghanistan. Like, because America to some extent brings law and order to the world, for better or worse.
And you think Putin wants that?
I think he wants
chaos.
No, I don't think so.
I think
that's
Adam's
just
right.
it's just so unstable at that point. I don't think that's what he's trying to go for.
I think he's got nukes. He'll figure it out.
Yeah,
he's ready for war at any point.
I think he and Xi are in a bit of a relationship, and Xi is going to say the same thing that Vladimir Putin is. And I would argue that a lot of the things that we're facing now have come from countries like Russia and China. There's videos that go back several years of ex-KGB spies come out and say, the greatest thing you can do to America is ideological subversion. China's put almost $1 billion into American universities. I mean, they're trying to sow discord within the United States. The way you win the war and never fire a shot, right? So I think you're right. I think they want chaos, and I think he's trying to stand tall, put the brakes on, and say this isn't going to happen here in Russia. I think Xi would say the same thing, and I think
I agree. I don't think he's going to let that happen in Russia, but I think it's something that people in America ought to pay attention to because there's a lot of credence to what he's saying. Unpack the statement. What part of his statement is not actually true? Unpack the statement, what he said. To delete history?
My
How do
only
you
note
delete
was
history?
He has a good point.
On the surface, yes.
Yeah,
But
on the surface, the
Yes,
statement. I'm just
yes.
judging the
I
statement.
agree.
Motives, of course, is to protect
I always think
your
he's got
country.
some motives.
Can we do Chappelle in 3 minutes?
Sure.
Okay. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.